One for Saul Canelo Alvarez, the undisputed king of boxing. One shadow looms larger than all the rest, David Benavidez. The Mexican monster has been relentless, outspoken, and direct, saying he's ready to fight Canelo and claiming the champion is avoiding him. While fans argue about the risks, Max Kellerman cuts through the noise. For him, this isn't just another fight, it's about legacy. Kellerman insists the one fight many believe is Canelo's biggest fear could actually be the key to his boxing immortality. Because Canelo Alvarez isn't just a champion, he's a phenomenon. Mexico's true golden boy.
The deck is usually stacked in his favor. Canelo is the golden boy first, because he can fight his ever-loving ass off. When he was a teenager, he was a YouTube sensation, playing to packed houses in Mexico, there to watch him beat up grown men. Now, over a decade later, he's outboxing the rangiest and cagiest, and outfighting the roughest and toughest in the whole wide world. Canelo was the golden boy second, because as a top fighter of Mexican heritage, he has a built-in following. There is no larger nor more rabid fan base in the world. Thirdly, he's good-looking, which plays to Madison Avenue, see his Under Armour endorsement deal. And with the red hair, he's got an unusual look, an Irish-looking Mexican prize fighter.
Asterisk to Kellerman doesn't use that title lightly, even comparing Canelo to the original golden boy, Oscar de la Hoya. But while de la Hoya had to earn the love of hardcore Mexican fans, Canelo was born with it. He's the perfect blend of slick defense and explosive power.
Canelo's promoter, Golden Boy, is so named because the boss is the Golden Boy himself, Oscar de la Hoya. De la Hoya's appeal was based on his excellence, of course. He brought home the Olympic gold medal after all. But also the fact that he was good-looking and of Mexican heritage. Oscar was Mexican-American. And because of that, and because he was a pretty boy, he had some proving to do before he was accepted by the Mexican fight crowd. I mean, if you're so tough and willing to show it, which you better be in order to win over hardcore fight fans, why are your facial features still where they're supposed to be?
Canelo's appeal is a rare mixed elite skill, a deep bond with the most passionate boxing fan base, and marketability that stretches far beyond the ring. His resume looks like a Hall of Fame ballot, filled with champions and dangerous challengers. He didn't just chase titles, he chased nightmares. He faced Erislandy Lara, the Cuban southpaw so risky most fighters avoided him. He stepped in with knockout punchers like Daniel Jacobs and Sergey Kovalev, always searching for greatness.
I thought he beat Trout and Jacobs close. Yes, I thought he beat Lara too. Thought if anyone deserved the decision in the Triple G rematch, it was Canelo. I ain't playing favorites. I agree he lost the first Triple G fight and got practically shut out by Floyd Mayweather the night one judge had it a draw laughably. But that's how it usually works with the network's house fighter, with the promoter's cash cow, with the A side, with the golden bluff and willing to show it, and is not apologizing for the fact that he has those kind of James Toney level skills to hit you more than you can hit him. Cat slippery. Slip punches and counter guy. There have been great Mexican fighters who were also big draws, like Julio Cesar Chavez and Marco Antonio Barrera. But until now, there hasn't been a genuine Mexican golden boy, the glamour fighter with crossover appeal and the biggest boxing star.
But no chapter defines his career more than his epic-to-fight saga with Gennady Golovkin. Fans begged for the matchup, calling GGG an unstoppable wrecking ball. Their first fight ended in a controversial draw, leaving a stain on the sport and doubt over Canelo's supremacy.
That Triple G won the second fight as well. I think Canelo showed some improvement, but it's also possible that Triple G might have slowed down a little bit.
I think so. The first fight I had at 9-3 for Triple G. That's how I scored.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, and I gave the first 3 rounds to Canelo, and then I had it every round after for Triple G. This fight, I thought Canelo won. Close fight, and if you gave it to Triple G, I wouldn't have screened robbery.
Right.
I
think Teddy was saying that he thought the Triple G won, but I felt like it's a pretty close fight. But certainly Canelo showed much improvement.
He did, and he fought
Many of his biggest fights, including that first Golovkin bout, were razor close. Critics claim the judges often leaned in Canelo's favor.
Brendan Schaub, I should say this before the decision gets announced, said that if Golovkin didn't win by some ungodly, lopsided beatdown, that he could lose a decision because of corruption. He goes, because that's how boxing rolls. And there's way more money in Canelo winning. So that said, now that we know that.
Tecate sponsor.
That's true. Well, apparently the audience is like half Mexican. He's a superstar in Mexico. Just a superstar.
Who are you talking about?
Canelo.
Oh, yeah.
So let's see if Brendan Schaub predicted this correctly, because we think
it has to be Golovkin.
The unofficial scorecard guy had it for Golovkin by several rounds. We think it was Golovkin, clearly, although Canelo fought a great fight.
But the rematch changed everything. Canelo didn't just fight Golovkin again, he became the aggressor. He pushed the feared puncher backward and won a brutal, narrow decision. To Kellerman, that proved Canelo was a 100% fighter, capable of changing his style when it mattered most.
Clear. I think that the smaller guy backed up the bigger guy. See, a puncher like Golovkin, a guy who's made his living on coming forward, doesn't want to go backwards. That was Canelo's game plan from the beginning, and you have to give him credit for having the courage to stand in the lion's den to get his work off.
But when he was backing him up, Andre, Triple G was using the jab all night long, and it couldn't miss Canelo's face. What about that?
I'll put it like this. Most of the combinations throughout the course of the fight, Canelo led, Golovkin would tap him with a jab or maybe come back with a right hand and left hook, and Canelo would also finish. He would lead and he would finish. So as a judge, I'm looking at that, and to me, if I didn't score round for round, I'm looking at Canelo and I'm saying that he has the momentum. He's dominating this fight. So you can have a close fight, but there could also be a guy kind of dominating. Like, man, it's subtle, but man, this guy has the momentum. Canelo had that.
The debate shifted. Not whether Canelo was great, but whether he could surpass Julio Cesar Chavez as Mexico's all-time boxing legend. Kellerman argued that to reach that level, Canelo might need to do something extraordinary like clean out the light heavyweight division.
Boxing. Ever see Julio Cesar Chavez in his prime? I'm talking about the daddy. I'm talking about one of the greatest fighters ever. This guy is the closest thing I have seen to a big Julio Cesar Chavez. David, I'm not putting the Chavez thing on you. I'm just saying, yeah, you're the closest thing I've seen to a big dude who...
But while Canelo was building his empire, a monster was rising in the shadows. David Benavidez. Even young, he carried huge expectations. Kellerman once said Benavidez reminded him of a bigger Julio Cesar Chavez.
And everything that's happening in my career, I'm in a great position in every single way. I wasn't going to go down to 168, but now if Canelo wants to come up, then, I got the WBC world title, 175. After I beat Bivol, I'm going to have all belts. So after that happens, now I'm the one who has the power. Now I'm the one. Canelo said he doesn't fight. He fights for greatness. He fights for titles. Well, let me go pick up all the...
Benavidez has said it plainly. Canelo is scared of me.
I've seen him handle my presence. He's definitely scared of me. If you have a fighter talking so much trash in front of you, why don't you make an example of him to the world? Beat me in the ring and make a whole lot of money. But Canelo Alvarez, as you can see from every time he fights a guy that's big with power, like Bivol, you know what I mean? And he's not able to suppress these fighters as much as he's able to suppress the little fighters. You know what I mean? So he sees a lot of things in me that he can't.
Down with boxing science. At his core, Canelo is a master counterpuncher. Much like James Toney, a defensive genius who thrives on his opponent's aggression. His style is built on making rivals miss by inches and punishing them with sharp counters. Fighters who run.
I know people are down on Canelo because he lost Bivol, but Bivol was always bad for Canelo. Bivol was always the guy you put Canelo in with if you wanted to get Canelo beat. And I know Benavidez and Beterbiev, for that matter, are like these beasts, right? But man, Canelo, that's the type of fighter he is. He wants you to come to him because he's a natural counterpuncher. So I would say it's like James Toney, right? You want to beat James Toney back in the day, you go get Roy Jones, not just because he's great, but because he'll step around you. He's here, he's there, you can't find him. His feet are fast. He can get around. But if you put Vasily Girov in with James Toney, great. Toney's just got Girov is an undefeated an Olympic gold medalist, world champion. But if you're going to just come at James Toney, he's going to counter you. And that's Canelo. Against Benavidez, against Beterbiev, I like Canelo's chances because they're going to do exactly what he wants them to do. And against a guy like Bivol, it's going to be tougher.
What about Beterbiev?
Same thing. I just Beterbiev with Canelo.
Yes.
Yeah, same thing with Benavidez. Beterbiev is going to go to Canelo. That's all.
That's just my opinion, because if we ever fight, the man is making well over $100 million. You know what I mean? if, let's say, he's saying that I don't have nothing to offer, that I'm nobody, that I need more experience, this and that. If you're gonna make $100 million fighting somebody that has no experience, that he sucks, this and that, all this shit that they've been talking about me, why would you not come beat my ass and collect a big bag on my head after the fight? Like, this is the same shit I'm doing with David Morrell. You know what I mean? It's the hardest fight, but fuck, I'm not scared of nobody. You know what I mean? I like I said, I embrace the challenges. So for Canelo and his fans saying that I don't bring nothing to the table, I don't do this, I don't do that, man, they're all scared, just like how he's scared. You know what I mean? And if he wants to come prove that I ain't shit, come prove it in front of everybody.